So good morning, my colleagues, this Saturday morning at 5:36. I hope everyone is sleeping well. I assume you're sleeping anyway. I want to go over problem 10 here from chapter 5. People had questions on. And again, this problem, I should have probably not assigned it. It's a little difficult, but we're going to go over this anyway. And it's good practice, right? Oppenheimer Bank is offering a 30-year mortgage with an APR of 5.2%. So there you go, annual percentage rate, right? Based on monthly compounding. Right? So those words are important. With this mortgage, your monthly payments, you're going to pay $2,000 a month, right? In addition, Oppenheimer Bank offers you the following deal. Instead of making the monthly payments of $2,000 a month, you can make half the payment every 2 weeks. So you'll be making 26 payments a year. A lot of people do this, by the way, in real life. They pay it every 2 weeks and it lowers the amount that they owe in the end. It lowers the interest they have to pay on that mortgage. With this plan, how long will it take to pay off the mortgage if the EAR of the loan is unchanged? Note, make sure to round in intermediate calculations to at least 8 decimal places. Let me make a point about that problem here, these problems. Sometimes you're marked wrong, and I've told you in class that I will not take off credit if you don't get right answers. I want you to attempt it, and as long as you attempt it, I give you credit. And this is the reason why. Because a lot of times they basically give you, you're off by a decimal point or a digit, and they mark it wrong. So please don't worry about that. Many people are emailing me, asking me, if they can try it again. And I'd rather just make a video for you than have you try it again, because you waste a lot of time because you're off by a single digit, all right? So let's go over this problem here. So let's go through this solution here. And the first thing we have our given information. We're making a payment of $2,000 a month. They told us that. Now the monthly, we have to convert everything again to monthly rates, okay? So 5.25% divided by 12 gives you a monthly rate of 0.4375% per month. And again, this is for 30 years, right? 360 months. So we're going to look at what the outstanding, how much do we owe, like we did in the previous problem on 9. What's the balance on our basically mortgage, right? So here's the number of payments, right? And again, I'm using Excel. Here is the I'm using the present value function, okay? Here is the interest rate, again, per month. All you had to do in the interest rate was put this little equation, and it would calculate this for you automatically. All right. Here's your payment given. So this is given if you divide this by 12, all right? And you get how much you owe on the mortgage. The present value of your mortgage is $362,185.18. And here's the Excel formula they're using. They told you that right there, okay? So this is your original loan amount. Now, instead of paying $2,000 a month, they told you we'll save you money if you pay $1,000 every 2 weeks. So now that basically instead of having 360 periods a year, all right, you're going to basically have every 2 weeks is 26 times 30, right? 26 payments times 30 years gives you 780. So, you don't just double that, all right? Just remember that now. Every 2 weeks, so take 30 years, right? And you're going to make 2 payments, right? So basically 26 payments, you're going to make 26 payments a year, not 2 a month. 26 a year times 30 is 780. So the big thing now is we need the 2-week interest rate, which is going to have the same. Now the interest rate isn't going to change, right? So we're going to have the same effective annual rate as the original loan, and we're going to use equation 5.1 for that. Okay, so you see we're looking for a 2-week rate, right? So they see we need the equivalent 2-week interest rate with the same effective annual rate. All right. So what we got to plug in here is our monthly rate. Okay. So you'll notice we take our monthly rate and put it in here. All right. And now you'll notice over here, here's what they do. First of all, they convert this to an annual rate with the 12%, the 12 with a 12 here. That's the monthly, right? That's the monthly. And then they divide that by 26 to get a 2-week rate. Okay? So they're kind of doing this in one step. You could have done this in 2 steps. Okay? So I brought up Excel. So let me just talk about this equation. They did this in one step. Now, first of all, they converted to an annual APR, right? Right, and basically effective annual APR, and then they say, well, we got to divide that by 26 to get the 2-week rate. We need the 2-week rate. Remember what I told you about equation 5.1? It's universal, and you could do whatever you want. They did it in one step here with these two. I did it in 2 steps. Let me show you Excel. Here's the numbers that we were given. This was given to you, right? This was given to you, 12 months. All right, now forget the 26 for a minute. So here's the equation for the annual. I did this in the first step with the 12. 1 plus A1 raised to the, actually I should have put B1 power here, right? I said 12, but I could change that. Hold on. Let me make sure we're clear that I use cell-based. All right, so here is the annual rate, which is effective 5.3782, right? Now, I told you they did that in 2 steps, so 1 step. Now, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go to here, and now I'm going to say, now I need a 2-week rate. So I did 1 plus this one, 1 plus D1, right? Raised to the 2-week, 1 over 26 now, because it's every 2 weeks, right? Minus 1, and I get this rate, okay? I get this rate, which is 0.002, and as you can see, I did that in Excel, and that's exactly what they got here. And if you want, I'll convert that to a percentage. Let me convert this to a percentage so you can see that. So you can see what it is in a percentage, right? 0.20168, which is exactly what they get, okay? All right, so that's the Excel. Again, I took what they did in 1 step, I did it in 2, which is the correct way, in my opinion. So the equivalent 2-week effective annual interest rate is 0.201686, which is what I showed you in that Excel. All right. All right, now let's finish off. We're making a payment. We're going to use Excel again. All right, and we're going to make a payment of $1,000 every 2 weeks. And we basically know, so here's that payment, $1,000. This is the value of the mortgage. Remember what we saw up here? We put the present value of the mortgage, and we have this new interest rate that we're going to pay every 2 weeks, okay? So now we have to solve for how many payments. We're going to use the number of payments, number of periods function right here in Excel, end period. We're using that function to figure out how many payments do we have to make. That's the big question. How many payments do we have to make? And it comes out that we solved for the number of periods, and it comes out to a little bit less than 651 payments. So it will take about 651 payments to pay off the mortgage. The last payment will be a bit less than $1,000, right? Basically, because you did it every 2 weeks. Since there are 26 payments per year, this will take 25 years and 2 weeks, right? 651 is 25 years and 2 weeks, right? If we divide this by 26 periods. We shortened the payment time by nearly 5 years. So you see, you were paying this off in 30 years, but you shortened that period time by 5 years by making the biweekly payments. And people do this. People like to do this because they save money. Because there are approximately 2 extra payments every year, right, that you make. So 100,000 is $26,000 total payments per year versus 24,000 payments per year. Okay, so you see, basically by paying every 2 weeks, you shorten this loan by almost 5 years, right? So you actually shorten it by 4 years and 2 weeks, right? So nearly 5 years. All right, so I hope that was clear. And again, if you have any questions, just bug me about this. But again, these were tough, and I really shouldn't have given these to you. All right, everybody, you'll be getting more from me. Have a good week. And other people, I'm behind in the videos. I know that. Sorry.